Well, Kevin, why don't you give me yours, because I think...
Well, just on top of that, I guess my question is more, what part do you think that those choices have to play in the legacy of not only his films, but in that case?
Okay, he got this award for his contribution to American film, right? And there was protest. And people said, we got to divorce the films from the man. Well, yes and no. If the award is for your contribution to film culture, then his contribution is scarred by his cooperation with HUAC. This is probably not that interesting to you, but very pertinent to my generation. When the House Un-American Activities Committee went to Hollywood, they did not go to find communists. Because first of all, everybody knew who the communists were. So it was not an investigation to begin with. Anybody in Hollywood could have given you a list of people and said, these are the people who are the communists. And we know that because they didn't hide. The House Un-American Activities Committee, HUAC, said the communists have infiltrated the business and they're sneaking around, sticking in messages and doing all kinds of things that they shouldn't be doing. Well, the opposite was true. If you know anything about Hollywood filmmaking, everybody knows everybody's business. And Jack Warner, right-winger, well, not quite a right-winger, but pretty conservative guy, he knew who his communist guys were. And he said, he's a good scriptwriter, just watch him, make sure he doesn't put anything in the movie that we don't want. Because in Hollywood, when you made a movie in Hollywood, you shot in the morning, they did the dailies, and in the evening, everybody looked at them, including the producers. So you can't sneak anything in. As far as the script is concerned, they spent years developing the script. And again, the producers reading the script. So sneaking things in is a ridiculous charge if you know anything about the business. What happened sometimes in World War II, when the Soviet Union was an ally, the studios would say to the communist guys, oh, why don't you write this movie because you'll understand it better than somebody else. But it was a conscious decision to use them, not a sneaky suspicion. So what was HUAC doing? Basically, they were doing two things. One, they were doing publicity for themselves because it's wonderful to get a big movie star crying or doing something, get on television and the radio. And secondly, they wanted to discourage adventurous, politically adventurous films in Hollywood. So if you go to Hollywood and you say anybody who's been identified with the left may lose their job, even if you retain your job, even if you weren't a communist, when you go to make a movie, you're going to say, well, we better not push the envelope too much because who knows what will happen to us in 4 or 5 years. So in that sense, Kazan cooperated with the suppression of art. And therefore, I would not give him an award for advancing film culture. I would give him an award for making some good movies. And people weren't sure how they felt. And it's very interesting when they got that award, many people who were against him politically applauded, and some sat in their seats and didn't applaud. So even that was a division. Like Warren Beatty, who's a pretty liberal guy, liked Kazan because he got him his start in films, but didn't admire his politics. He applauded. Somebody like Marlon Brando wasn't there. So it depended on people's personality.